Wanjiku's legs gave out when she heard them laughing about the 4 million shillings they saved by lying to her. Outside Njeri's Kilimani apartment, Wanjiku's hospital bill, 80,000 shillings she doesn't have, shakes in her hand. Through the door crack, her sister's voice cuts through. Wanjiku's here begging for hospital money again. Then laughter. Kamal's voice through speakerphone. The Chama account is at 4 million now. Money we saved by not helping her all these years. Njeri again. And Papa's 6 million insurance. Best decision we ever made, splitting it 4 ways instead of 5. Wanjiku's mouth opens but no sound comes. Her hand finds the wall. The receipt slips from her fingers. Her body slides down the expensive marble, 12 years of sacrifice crashing into one moment. They were never poor. She was just convenient. Hit subscribe right now, because Wanjiku's revenge will be unlike anything you've seen, and missing it would be a crime. The marble floor felt like ice against Wanjiku's cheek. Her vision blurred, fractured into memories she'd buried deep. 4 a.m. alarms, the crush of bodies at Marikiti Market, the chemical burn of cleaning solution on her hands at midnight, and through it all, Kamal driving past in his lone car. Njeri's law office with Italian furniture she claimed was borrowed. The twins posting Mombasa vacation photos while telling her they were struggling. All lies, all of it. The door swung open. Njeri stood there, designer handbag on her arm, French perfume choking the air. Wanjiku, what are you doing on the floor? Wanjiku looked up at her sister, really looked at her. Manicured nails that had never scrubbed a toilet. Skin that glowed from spa treatments, not exhaustion. Clothes that cost more than Wanjiku made in a month. I came for help, Wanjiku said, her voice flat. With my hospital bill. Njeri's face shifted into practiced concern. She didn't know. She had no idea Wanjiku had heard everything. Ah, you know times are tough, sister. Let me see what I have. She pulled out her wallet, leather, expensive, and counted out notes. 5,000 shillings, exactly what Kamal had suggested through that phone. This is all I can spare right now, Njeri said, pressing the money into Wanjiku's hand. Pol Sana, I wish it could be more. Wanjiku took it, said nothing, stood up on legs that barely held her, walked past her sister down the corridor into the elevator with its mirrors that showed her the truth. A woman of 31 who looked 50, hollowed cheeks, gray strands in her hair, clothes worn thin from washing. The elevator doors closed on Njeri's concerned face. Another performance, another lie. The Matatu from Kilimani to Kawangware was packed. The conductor shouted, Gari Iko full, squeeze. Bodies pressed against Wanjiku from all sides. She clutched the 5,000 shillings in her fist, feeling it crumple. Through the window, Nairobi blurred past. Westland's towers, Kilimani wealth. Then gradually the shift, Dagoretti's chaos, Kawangware's dust. The city's inequality mapped out in 15 minutes. A memory hit her like a fist. The Matatu crash. November 2013. Her phone ringing at university, her last semester, the voice on the other end. Your parents, the accident on Wayaki Way, you need to come. The mortuary, her uncle's heavy hand on her shoulder. You're the eldest, Wanjiku, you're the mother now. 4 faces looking up at her. Njeri 17, Kamal 15, the twins 13, all of them orphaned in one moment. Her acceptance letter to continue her degree in her hand. Her future in ink on paper. She'd looked at them, her siblings, her responsibility, and made a choice. That night she'd burned the letter in a sufuria, watched her dreams turn to ash. The Matatu jerked to a stop. Wanjiku wiped her face. She hadn't realized she was crying. But tears weren't what Wanjiku needed. She needed proof, and she knew exactly where to find it. Resolution Insurance on Mamangina Street smelled like air conditioning and broken promises. Wanjiku sat across from an officer whose nameplate read Mr. Amandi. Her hands were steady now. Cold replaced the tears. I need information about my parents' life insurance policy, she said. John Mwangi and Grace Mwangi. They died in 2013. Mr. Amandi typed, squinted at his screen. Ah, yes. Policy number 447,821. 6 million shillings. Claimed November 2013. I'm the eldest child, Wanjiku said carefully. My name should be first on the beneficiary list. He turned the screen toward her. 4 names glowed there like accusations. Njeri Mwangi, Kamal Mwangi, Akini Mwangi, Baraka Mwangi. Administrator, Njeri Mwangi. Date of beneficiary modification, November 15, 2013. 2 weeks after the funeral. 2 weeks after Wanjiku had burned her future to raise them. I don't understand, Wanjiku whispered. I'm not listed. Mr. Amandi's face softened with pity. I'm sorry. Your sister, as administrator, had the right to modify the beneficiary list. She removed you. The office tilted. Wanjiku gripped the desk. She removed me. I'm very sorry. Wanjiku stood, walked out. The sun outside was too bright, too cheerful for what she'd just learned. But she wasn't done. Equity Bank on Kimathi Street was colder than the insurance office. The teller, a young woman with neat braids, pulled up the account information. John and Grace Mwangi, joint savings account, 823,000 shillings at time of death. Where did it go? Wanjiku asked. Withdrawn November 2013. By, the teller paused, Njeri Mwangi, listed as family representative. 800,000 shillings. Gone, while Wanjiku had sold her textbooks to buy Kamal school shoes. Thank you, Wanjiku said, her voice mechanical. One more stop. Ardhai House, the land registry, was chaos, people shouting, papers everywhere, the smell of bureaucracy and desperation. Wanjiku waited 2 hours for her turn. Mwangi family plot in Kiambu, she told the clerk. I need to see the ownership records. The clerk returned with a dusty file. Half-acre plot, transferred to Kamal Mwangi 2014. Current estimated value, 3.2 million shillings. Wanjiku's breathing became shallow. I didn't know we had land. Well, you do, or rather he does. The clerk pushed the file toward her. There it was, her father's signature from years ago, and below it Kamal's signature, transferring ownership to himself alone. 3 locations, 3 betrayals, but the 4th discovery would be the one that burned everything down. Marikiti Market was her second home, the place where she'd spent 12 years of pre-dawn mornings and sunburned afternoons. Mama Lucy's vegetable stall stood at the corner, tomatoes and sukuma wiki bright against the dust. Wanjiku arrived and sat heavily on an overturned crate. She couldn't speak, just handed Mama Lucy the papers, insurance, bank, land registry. Mama Lucy read, her face transformed from confusion to horror to pure rage. Mungu Wangu, these children. These hyenas in human skin. Other vendors gathered. The news spread like wildfire through the market. Mama Njoki, and you were here fainting from hunger last week. Mama Weramu, 6 million shillings and they let you suffer. The market women's fury was a physical force. They'd watched Wanjiku collapse before. They'd loaned her money for Matatu fare. They'd shared their lunch when she had none. Those dogs will pay, Mama Lucy swore. I swear on my mother's grave they will pay. Wanjiku stood, meaning to thank them, meaning to leave. The world tilted sideways. Her knees unlocked. She crashed into a table, tomatoes exploding red across the ground like blood. Ambulance, Mama Lucy screamed. Someone call an ambulance. But rage wasn't enough. Wanjiku's body was about to make the decision for her. Everything went black. Beeping, antiseptic, voices far away. Wanjiku opened her eyes to white ceiling tiles and fluorescent lights. Mbagathi Hospital ICU. She knew it by the water stains on the ceiling. She'd been here before, visiting a neighbor. Miss Mwangi, a doctor appeared, clipboard in hand. You're awake, good, you're lucky to be alive. What happened? Severe hypertension, stage 2. Your kidneys are showing early signs of damage, malnutrition, exhaustion. He paused. Your body has been shutting down. You've been running on empty for too long. Treatment cost 120,000 shillings for the immediate care and medication. Wanjiku laughed, hollow, bitter. Yesterday I asked my sister for 80,000. The doctor looked confused. Your siblings are in the waiting room. They seem very concerned. Of course they were. They burst in like a staged production. Njeri with tears in her eyes, Kamal's face creased with worry, the twins holding hands, looking young and scared. Polsana, Njeri rushed to the bedside. Don't worry, sister, we'll handle everything. Family takes care of family, Kamal said, loud enough for the other patients to hear. Akini and Baraka hovered, perfectly performed concern. The nurses smiled. Other families in the ward watched approvingly. Such good siblings, someone whispered. But Wanjiku saw through it now. She saw the calculation in Njeri's eyes, the performance in Kamal's posture. They needed witnesses. They needed to look good. We'll take care of the bills, Njeri announced, touching Wanjiku's hand. Don't you worry about anything. Then they stepped outside to discuss payment options. The door didn't close all the way. Wanjiku could hear every word. How much should we actually pay? Kamal's voice low and cautious. 10,000 maximum, Njeri said. Make it look good, but she's not dying. The doctor said she'll recover with rest. What if people find out about the insurance money? Akini asked. Baraka laughed softly. They won't. Wanjiku's too proud to ask questions. She thinks we're all broke. Exactly, Njeri said. Let's keep it that way. Give her 10,000, tell her that's all we could scrape together. She'll believe it. What they didn't know was that the woman in that hospital bed was no longer the sister who stayed silent. Wanjiku sat up, ripped the IV from her arm. The nurse would be angry, but she didn't care. Blood welled from the needle site. She pressed a tissue to it and walked to the doorway. Her voice cut through the corridor like a blade. 4 million shillings. They spun around, 4 faces going pale in unison. Every patient in the corridor stopped. Every visitor, every nurse. The hospital, like all African hospitals, was never truly private. Everyone heard everything. Tell them, Njeri, Wanjiku said, her voice rising. Tell them about Papa's insurance money. Not here, Njeri hissed, trying to grab her arm. Please, this isn't the place. 6 million Papa left, Wanjiku's voice echoed. They split it 4 ways, while I scrubbed toilets and went hungry. An elderly patient gasped. Mungu Wangu, these children are cursed. A nurse stopped in her tracks. You people have millions and your sister nearly died. Kamal tried to defend them. It's more complicated than. The bank account, Wanjiku cut him off. 823,000 shillings. You took it, Njeri. The land in Kiambu, you stole that too, Kamal. You took everything and left me nothing. Phones came out. People were recording. In Kenya, public shame was the worst kind of shame. The security guard shook his head. This is too much. God is watching you people. Wanjiku looked at each of them, her brothers, her sisters, the people she destroyed herself to raise. You have each other. That's what you wanted. Her voice dropped to something cold and final. From today, you're dead to me, just like I was dead to you all these years. She turned, walked back into her room and slammed the door. In the corridor, 4 siblings stood exposed while an entire hospital bore witness to their betrayal. If you're hooked by Wanjiku's strength, smash that like button. This story is just getting started. 2 days later, Wanjiku discharged herself against medical advice. Mama Lucy picked her up in a borrowed car, face set with determination. You're staying with me, Mama Lucy said. It wasn't a question. Those vipers will not find you. Kahawa West was far from Kilimani's gleaming towers. Mama Lucy's two-room house smelled like hope and ugali. For the first time in 12 years, Wanjiku slept without an alarm. She blocked every number, deleted every contact, disappeared. The siblings searched desperately. At the Kawangware house, neighbors blocked the gate. After what you did, she's better off without you. At Marikiti Market, vendors chased them away with insults. One threw a tomato that splattered across Kamal's shirt. Thief, stealing from your own sister. Mama Lucy confronted them at her stall. You're not her family, you're her thieves. Now get out before I call these women to deal with you properly. The market women advanced, faces hard. The siblings fled. The story spread like wildfire. Church WhatsApp groups, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Wanjiku's story trended for 3 days. Consequences rained down. Kamal's wife packed her bags. If you can steal from your sister, betray your own blood, what will you do to me? She left, taking their daughter. Njeri's law firm launched an ethics investigation. 3 major clients terminated their contracts. We can't work with someone who lacks basic family values. The twins' church held a meeting. The pastor asked them not to return. You've brought shame to this congregation. Kamal's political campaign collapsed. His opponent ran ads. Can you trust a man who betrayed his own sister? While they crumbled, Wanjiku was cooking up something that would burn them all. Her 47,000 shillings, everything she had left, went into renting a tiny space in South B, a hole in the wall, really. Cracked tiles, leaking roof. But it was hers. Mama Lucy arrived with pots and pans. We cook together, we rise together, Mtoto. Market vendors contributed. Mama Njoki brought tomatoes. Mama Weramu brought onions. Others brought flour, cooking oil, charcoal for the jiko. Build something they can never take from you, Mama Lucy said. Wanjiku's kitchen started as a dream scratched on paper. Menu: Mukimo, Irio, Githeri, Mtura, authentic Kikuyu food, the kind their mother used to make. First day, 3 customers. Friends of Mama Lucy who came out of loyalty. First week, word spread, 10 customers, then 15. First month, lines forming at lunch. Daily Nation sent a reporter. From betrayal to business, one woman's journey. Her health returned slowly, color in her cheeks, light in her eyes. She gained weight, good weight, healthy weight. She laughed again and the sound surprised her. She hired 3 women, single mothers with stories like hers. We lift as we climb, she told them. Mama Lucy became co-owner. They worked side by side, 2 women who'd rebuilt themselves from nothing. 6 months passed like a revolution. Wanjiku's kitchen was thriving. Morning rush brought 30 people. Lunchtime brought 50. The space had expanded, 3 rooms now, colorful tables, walls painted bright yellow and green. A TV crew arrived. You're Nairobi's most inspiring restaurant owner. How does it feel? Wanjiku smiled at the camera. It feels like freedom. Staff of 8, all women, all with stories of survival. The restaurant hummed with purpose and laughter and the smell of githeri bubbling on the stove. Then they arrived. All 4 siblings dressed humbly. Old clothes, no jewelry, another performance. They waited in line like everyone else. When they reached the counter, Wanjiku didn't stop plating food. Sister, Kamal said, we need to talk. Serve them like any other customer, Wanjiku told her staff. They pay like everyone else. The meal cost 600 shillings. They paid in silence, ate in silence. The food stuck in their throats. When they finished, they approached again. Njeri's voice shook. We're sorry, we were wrong, we need your forgiveness. My political campaign, Kamal said. It's failing, people say I'm heartless. Our church won't take us back without your blessing, Akini added. Please, Baraka whispered, we're family. They wanted a photo, a public reconciliation, something to post to fix their reputations. Wanjiku wiped her hands on her apron, looked at each of them with eyes that had seen too much. "You taught me something important," she said quietly. "You taught me that blood means nothing without respect." "But we're your family," Njeri started. "No, you were my family. Now you're just people I used to know." She handed them an envelope. Inside, an itemized receipt, 12 years documented. School fees paid, 2.1 million. Rent covered, 1.4 million. Food provided, 980,000. Medical care, 430,000. Emotional labor, 2 million. Dreams destroyed, priceless. Health sacrificed, priceless. Total, 8.7 million shillings. "I'm not asking you to pay it," Wanjiku said. "I'm showing you what you stole." Kamal's hand reached toward her. "Please, we can fix this." "Don't," Wanjiku stepped back. "You lost that right when you cashed Papa's check." She gestured to her restaurant, her staff, her customers watching this unfold. "These people became my family when you were busy being strangers. You wanted me independent. Look around. I am, without you." The four siblings sat frozen as Wanjiku returned to her kitchen. The lunch rush was starting. She had work to do. A customer called out, "Wanjiku, those your relatives?" Wanjiku smiled, genuine, warm, free. "No, my family is here." She hugged Mama Lucy, high-fived her staff. The restaurant filled with laughter and the sizzle of food and Swahili music playing from someone's phone. Outside, four people left with their heads down. People whispered, pointed. One woman spat on the ground after they passed. Inside, Wanjiku plaited githeri and hummed a song her mother used to sing. The camera pulled back, showing her kingdom built from ashes, her empire constructed from betrayal. Her voice peaceful as morning. "They tried to bury me. They didn't know I was a seed." Family isn't who shares your blood. It's who shows up when you're bleeding. And sometimes, the people who should catch you are the ones who pushed you, so you learn to fly on your own. If Wanjiku's strength moved you, hit that subscribe button right now. Share this story with someone who needs to hear it. Drop a comment telling us what you would have done in her shoes. Because sometimes, the best revenge is becoming everything they said you couldn't be. Subscribe for more powerful African stories of survival and triumph.